So today we are going to be talking about a curly girl's worst nightmare, heat damage. But before I get into exactly what I did to help my heat damage, I'm going to answer all of your questions that you guys left. So before I get into my personal tips and tricks for recovering from heat damage, I just want to give you guys a little background on my hair. I have been about 10 years plus relaxer free. I've been about 2 years now heat free, and I have been coloring my hair for about the past 3 years. So I had a little bit of both heat and color damage. The color damage pretty much does the same thing to your hair as far as giving you those straight pieces and loss of curl pattern, no definition. I did stop perming my hair about 10 years ago, and I just went heat free 2 years ago. I did not see a difference in my hair until I went heat free. When I stopped perming my hair, it was easier on my scalp. I didn't have so many issues and dryness and everything like that, and I was just growing out my natural hair. But I was still using excessive heat. I was still getting a wash and set at least once a week. So my hair still became damaged because even though it was chemical free, I was now putting excessive heat on it. So I didn't really experience any real changes in my hair until I cut the heat out. Once I cut heat, I experienced the most growth I've had ever. My hair grew from about chin length to collarbone length, and once it was at collarbone length, I was able to make it to about an inch away from waist length. Definitely did not see any growth until I cut the heat. I did not see my curl pattern come back until I cut the heat. Not putting direct heat on my hair is a huge thing. So when I say direct heat, I mean blow dryers and flat irons. I do not blow dry my hair, nor do I flat iron it. If I do use any type of heat, it's either the hot steam from my steamer, which is not damaging at all, or heat from a hooded dryer if I'm either deep conditioning or if I'm just really in that much of a rush where I need to dry my hair. But most of the time, I am not sitting under a hooded dryer. If anything, I am just using my steamer, and that's the most heat that my hair is exposed to. I am going to go through all of your comments and answer you guys' questions that you have about hair, heat damage, all of that good stuff. So let's get into it. What styles were your go-to while trying to hide your damage? My go-to styles were a flat twist out. I had to do a flat twist out. It couldn't be a two-strand twist because the damage would still show through. A two-strand twist out did not give me much definition. So I had to do a flat twist out, which gave me a really nice even curl pattern throughout my hair. And another one that I would do is perm rods. That's actually how I came across perm rods. It was because my hair was super damaged and I just wanted a head full of curls. So I picked up some perm rods from my local beauty supply store, and I love them. Perm rods are, like, to this day the best style for me. It's one of my favorites. So flat twist outs and perm rods definitely helped me hide my heat damage. How did you bring your curl back? Are you able to straighten without damaging your hair now? Cutting the heat was about 95% of getting rid of my heat damage. I ditched all heat, no flat irons, no blow dryers. If I'm able to straighten my hair now without damaging it, I'm really not sure. I have not straightened my hair in forever. I can't really say based on personal experience because I have not put a flat iron to my hair in forever. But if I was to straighten my hair, I would definitely prep my hair before straightening it, and I would definitely be on the lookout for the best heat protectant out there. That's probably another reason why I had so much heat damage. I never ever used a heat protectant throughout all the flat ironing, all the washing sets. All of that heat, I have never used a heat protectant. What products can I use to keep my curl pattern from not getting frizzy after I co-wash? To find out what products work for you, I feel like that really depends on your hair porosity. I have low porosity hair where my hair has a tight cuticle and it is very hard to instill moisture because the cuticle is so tightly bound that it actually repels moisture. Now, for low porosity hair, if you do your research, most people will say that low porosity hair tends to prefer lighter products or more watery products, like a lot of, you know how a lot of leave-ins are watery, a lot of hair milks, where high porosity, they would need more of a heavy butter or cream. Now, for me personally, I have low porosity hair, but I prefer products that most people would say would be more beneficial to high porosity hair. And honestly, even without porosity or knowing your hair's porosity level, you're gonna have to go through trial and error. I have drawers full of products that I've bought that ended up not working for me. It's all about trial and error. Out of about 5 drawers, only 1 or 2 of them actually have a good amount of products that actually work for me. So with this, you're just gonna have to go through trial and error and see what works for you. What protein treatments or deep conditioners do you recommend for color treated hair? My blonde ends are curly, but they feel dry. So I have 2 staples, and perfectly, one of them is a protein treatment and the other is a deep conditioner. So for the protein treatment, my absolute favorite is the Apogee 2-minute Keratin Reconstructor. They also have a 2-step Reconstructor, but when I picked that up, the first thing that I saw in big black bold letters was for professional use only. As soon as I saw that, I put it right back down. I also heard a lot of mixed reviews on that product. Some were good, some were bad, some were really good, some were really bad. So I didn't really want to take my chances. With the 2-minute, I saw way more consistent and really good reviews on it. And after reading the directions and just reading what it was about, I thought that it would be perfect for my hair and my hair's situation. And that was 2 years ago that I first picked up this product. And 2 years later, I am still using it. I absolutely love it. The second one is the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen, Grow, and Restore Deep Treatment Mask. I love that stuff. After rinsing it out, I have so much definition and it's just amazing. It's super soft. It goes on really easily. You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. I can detangle with it. It has great slip. I really like the whole line. I use the shampoo as well. I have the leave-in, but I don't use it much. But the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Sulfate-Free Shampoo and the Deep Treatment Mask are definitely my faves. I have one side that is not as defined as my other side, but I've cut all the damage off. What should I do to avoid cutting any more? I thought I was the only one who experienced that. One side of my hair was definitely way tighter than the other side. For some odd reason, my stylist at the time actually told me that it could be from wrapping my hair from all the years that I was getting wash-in sets and wrapping my hair. She asked me what direction I wrap my hair in. I always went this way. So at the time, this side was so much more looser because she said that the fact that that's the side that you were pulling from, it could have stretched your hair even more. Now, how true that is, I don't know, but I was really just trying to figure out what could explain 2 completely different curl patterns just on one head. So someone, my stylist did suggest it may be because of the direction that I was wrapping my hair in. I will never know. What's the best way to keep your dyed ends moisturized? I love the LOC method. That really helps me retain a lot of moisture. Again, I love heavy butters and creams. That also really helps me retain a lot of moisture. And also when I'm styling, I make sure that I'm styling on soaking wet hair. My hair, like I said, I have low porosity hair, so it actually can repel water. So whenever I'm styling, I like to make sure that my hair is soaking wet, and I like to seal in all of that moisture with either coconut oil or Jamaican black castor oil. And that's how I keep my ends moisturized, the LOC method and working with soaking wet hair. What are good ways to straighten your hair without heat? I don't think there is. I have no idea. I don't think there's any way you can actually completely straighten your hair without any heat at all. I've seen the silk roller wrap where you just do a roller set and sit under the dryer and then wrap your hair with saran wrap and then sit under the dryer again. And that supposedly gives you like semi-straight hair or kind of like a blown out look. I haven't tried that personally, but I think that's the only thing I could think of as far as straightening your hair with no heat. I'd like to add color to my hair, but I'm worried about the damage it may cause. Did you have damage? How do you avoid it? I definitely had damage from coloring, but that is because I was bleaching my hair. To get the color that I had to bleach my hair more than once, so that's where my damage came from. Now, if I was dyeing my hair a darker color or a color that did not have any ammonia or lift in it, I probably wouldn't have experienced the same damage. For my color, I had to bleach my hair, and that's where the damage came from. So if you're trying to go really light or blonde, you are definitely going to have to bleach your hair, and that may be where the damage comes into play. But if I was to bleach my hair again, I would definitely prep it. I would definitely do a protein treatment. When you color your hair, it actually takes the protein out of your hair. So I would definitely do a few protein treatments before I colored my hair. I would definitely do a few hot oil treatments or pre-poo where I mix avocado and coconut oil and I let it sit in my hair overnight with a shower cap and my satin bonnet on top. If you're dead set on coloring your hair, I would definitely just make sure you prep your hair, and I would also go to a professional. I would not suggest going to your local Walgreens and just picking up any hair dye and putting it in yourself. I've never had my hair colored by anyone else except for a professional, and I only go to one. I do not have a lot of hands in my hair. I only trust one person with cutting and coloring my hair. How do you preserve your wash and go while working out? I just pineapple my hair as if I was to pineapple it to go to bed at night. And I also wear a sweatband around my edges just to make sure that they don't frizz up either. And that's all I do. I just throw it in a pineapple with a sweatband and work out. Do you have staple products that you use to maintain your color? My Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil line, and that's definitely a staple. I've been using that forever. Besides not using heat, what are the top things you did to grow your hair? I've been stuck at collarbone length for years. Other than using heat, another thing that I did was swapped all my products out for natural or organic products. Even to this day, I still try my best to only use natural-based products. I cut out all parabens, sulfates, mineral oils, silicones, and I definitely see that that has made a huge difference in my hair. If I use a product now that does contain silicone or parabens, I feel the difference in my hair. It gets really dry and it gets really stiff. So other than cutting out heat, I'm just very conscious of what I put in my hair. I never buy a product without fully reading the ingredient label. I like to know everything that is going into my hair. So whenever I pick up a product, I'm always reading the ingredients. I'm always looking to make sure that it doesn't contain certain things, and that definitely helped with the growth of my hair. At the time, I had tried the Main Choice Maintabolism pills, and they were great. I took them for about 2 months and got about 3 inches of growth. So if you are willing to try a supplement, I would definitely try. I know there's like Hairfinity, and there's actually one in drugstores now. I forget the name, but I've seen it at like Duane Reade and Target. And there's also, like I said, the Maintabolism pills. So I would just do your research and see which one you like based on reviews and everything. But for me personally, the only one I've tried is the Main Choice, and I really liked it. Once you cut out heat, how did you avoid single strand knots? I still have single strand knots. I'm forever like just feeling my hair and kind of popping them off, which I know is bad. I would not suggest that you just go and like pop the single strands off, but I do have a bad habit of doing that. I also, if I'm really in the mood and I'm ready to really like lock in, I also used to just go through, and if I felt any And where I felt the knot on the strand, I would just take my scissor and cut that. And that's how I deal with them. Either pop them off or snip them if my scissor is in arm's reach. How often do you wash your hair? I wash my hair once a week. I do a pre-poo the night before and let it sit overnight. And the next day, I wash my hair with a sulfate-free shampoo, deep condition, and then style. I do all of that once a week. With working out and when it's hot outside, I may co-wash in between. So if I shampoo my hair on Sunday, probably by Tuesday or Wednesday, if I need to, I'll do a co-wash and then style again. I normally just have to wash my hair once a week, but if need be, I'll co-wash one time in between. Your diet also has a lot to do with it. When I first started my journey, I was drinking a gallon of water a day. Even to this day, I still try to, but I definitely make sure I have at least 4 bottles of water if I cannot get a whole gallon in throughout the day. So definitely drinking a lot of water will definitely help with the growth of your hair. Also, if you're going to be taking supplements, it's also really important to consume a lot of water if you're going to be taking supplements for hair growth. Cutting out heat and using natural products and all of this, and just being conscious of what you put in your hair and what you're doing, and making sure that you're deep conditioning weekly and washing your hair with a sulfate-free shampoo. All of that is good, but the one and only solution to heat damage is a handy dandy hair scissor. You have to cut it off. I'm sorry, you have to cut it off. There's no magical product out there that is going to revert heat damage. There's nothing you can do about it. I did not big chop, I gradually trimmed my hair. So I'm not telling you to just go and chop all your hair off. Now, I do my own trims. I do them about every 6 months. And in between, I would do, when my hair was severely damaged, I would do a wash and go once a month. I would do a wash and go once a month, and once it dried, I would just look around my hair, and if I saw any straight pieces that I just really could not stand, I would just cut them off. And for the rest of the month, I would do some protective styling. I would do my flat twists or my perm rod sets, and then when the next month came, I would do a wash and go again, cut off any heat damage that I saw, and I just kept doing that over the year. And that helped me get to how my hair is now. And even my hair now still has a few straight pieces, but for the most part, it definitely has bounced back from a lot of heat damage to the point where I'm actually comfortable wearing a wash and go. Before, I just got comfortable wearing a wash and go about 2 or 3 months now. So this is I'm still getting used to it. I still have a few pieces that definitely can be cut off. You will save a lot of time and money by just buying a pair of hair scissors and trimming off your heat damage as you go along. Get it over with, cut it off now so you can just have the curls that you really want to have. The first thing you're gonna have to do is get rid of the damage. There's no magical product out there that's gonna do it for you. So
you need to cut it.
Sorry, you gotta cut it off. It's okay, it'll grow back. If you want to, go grab your scissor and join me. I'm going to trim a few ends. Like I said, I've grown most of it out, but some of them can afford to be clipped off. So I have my scissor here, and this is a second day wash and go. This is usually when I do these things. Like I said, I would do a wash and go once a month, and that's how I would see, where the damage is, how bad it is, and if I wanted to cut it. There's some pieces that were dead straight, but I didn't want to cut it. I wasn't comfortable, so I only cut the pieces that I felt comfortable with cutting. I only cut off the amount that I was comfortable cutting off. Some pieces would be about this long, but I would only cut this bit, and I would wait till the next month when I did a wash and go again to cut a little bit more off. So cut what you're comfortable with cutting. If you're not comfortable cutting at all, don't cut it. It's okay, but I'm gonna show you guys how I cut my heat damage off. A little closer to you guys. And for the most part, like I said, most of it has grown out, especially in the front. There's still some that are a little looser, but I'm not necessarily gonna cut the loose curls. I just like to cut what's straight. See, so that end is pretty loose. So that is definitely something that I would cut. And cut that. I cut down on a downward angle because that's the way my layers go. So I just cut on a downward angle. That end sticking out there can definitely be cut. That's just a straight end. So I see the curl. The curl stops about right here. So this is the damage. I just hold it by the end and cut downward. This looks like a little hook. It's like curl, 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 and then just this weird, like damaged hook. So I'm gonna take that. Look at how small this piece of hair is. That's not a lot of hair at all. You can afford to cut this much. You don't have to cut a lot of hair off. Cut with what you're comfortable with. As long as you're cutting something, you're making progress. So that's what I did every month for about the past year to recover from my heat damage. First, I cut the chemicals out, then the heat. Then I swapped all my products for natural and or organic products and trimmed gradually. And that's what I did to get rid of my heat damage. So if there's anything that I wasn't able to touch base on through this video, comment below and I will definitely help you out. Let me know what video you'd like to see next and I will see you in the next upload. Bye, dolls.